The golden dunes stretch endlessly in all directions, a living sea of dust and wind. Local tribes avoid the region they call Al-Raml al-Maut, the sand of death. Dr. Elias Mercer, a renowned but reckless archaeologist, is obsessed with finding the buried ruins of Carthol, a city said to predate all civilization. Legends say it was swallowed by the sand itself after angering the gods. Elias hires a tight-lipped desert guide named Layla, an ex-soldier named Imran for protection, and Gareth, his loyal but skeptical cameraman. As they load up the camels and prepare the satellite equipment, villagers gather around, muttering prayers. One elder gives Elias a withered talisman and whispers, "Do not wake the eater of bones." Elias smiles dismissively. The crew heads into the dunes, unaware that they've just crossed a threshold, into a place that remembers everything. Days pass. The GPS glitches. Compass needles spin. At night, the air grows icy, and a low hum seems to emanate from the sand itself. Gareth starts to hear strange voices on his recorder, like whispering in ancient tongues. At first, they laugh it off as wind interference. But the whispers grow louder each night, now calling Elias's name. Layla warns him, "These are not dreams. You are being invited." Then the sand starts to behave. Unnaturally. Waves ripple without wind. Imran shoots into the dunes after spotting a massive shadow moving under the surface, but there's nothing there. That night, they wake to find strange symbols carved into the sand around their camp, in perfect circles, too large to have been made by hand. Gareth's tent is ripped, and scrawled in the torn canvas is a single word burned into the fabric: run. Midway through their journey, the team finds an ancient stone jutting from the dunes. Scattered around it are bones, hundreds of them. Some human, others disturbingly large and alien. One skull has fangs embedded in it, and they're still fresh. Imran touches one and swears it's still warm. Gareth films everything, but can't shake the feeling they're being watched. Layla finds a carving on the stone, a massive serpent-like beast with burning eyes. She tells them the myth of the SANDSTALKER, a god creature buried under the sand, guarding the gates of the underworld. A curse was placed on anyone who tried to unearth the city it protects. Elias scoffs, but the rest are shaken. Gareth begins to show signs of paranoia, snapping at shadows. That night, he leaves the tent to relieve himself. Moments later, the ground erupts in a violent quake. Gareth vanishes. No screams, no blood, just his camera, half buried, still recording. They watch Gareth's last footage, his flashlight scanning the dunes, his voice cracking as he whispers, "Something's moving under the sand." Then the lens catches something massive, scales, claws, glowing red eyes, before everything goes black. Imran wants to turn back. Layla agrees. Elias refuses. They're too close. That night, a sandstorm strikes out of nowhere. But this isn't natural. The winds howl like a living creature. From inside the storm, a roar shakes the earth. Primal, ancient, hungry. Their tents are ripped from the ground. Imran sees something rise behind the dunes, taller than a building, glowing eyes piercing the sand. He opens fire. The bullets vanish into the storm. The creature lets out a bone-rattling scream. Their supply vehicle is swallowed whole. They flee on foot, guided only by Layla's fading memories of her grandfather's stories, and his final words, "The sand has teeth." As the storm fades, they stumble upon a strange stone archway half buried in the sand. Beyond it lies an ancient temple, almost completely consumed by the earth. Inside, the temperature drops. The walls are covered with hieroglyphs depicting rituals, sacrifices, and the beast. They learn the truth. Carthol wasn't destroyed by an enemy. The people buried their own city to trap the Sandstalker, a guardian turned predator after drinking the blood of fallen gods. The temple was meant to hold it in chains of gold and flame. A massive sealed sarcophagus sits in the center. Elias becomes obsessed, believing it may contain the original priest's remains or sacred artifacts. Imran warns him not to touch it. Layla begins to pray. Elias ignores them and pries open the seal. At that moment, the sand outside begins to shift again, rising unnaturally. The sarcophagus hisses. The curse has awakened. That night, Imran is snatched while keeping watch. His screams echo from beneath the dunes. Layla and Elias barely escape, running into a narrow gorge marked by ancient trap mechanisms. Elias activates them. Spikes shoot from the walls, fire vents ignite, and the creature retreats momentarily, wounded but enraged. They hide in a cave system. Layla cries silently. Elias finally admits his mistake. He recounts a memory, a dream he had as a child of being buried alive in sand, unable to scream. Maybe it wasn't a dream, he mutters. Maybe it was a warning. They discover a secret passage, with steps leading downward, far below the desert floor. Layla hesitates. This is where the priests went to die. They descend anyway. Behind them, the SANDSTALKER follows, always just underfoot. They emerge into an underground world, the preserved remains of Karthal. Ancient towers of black stone rise out of the earth like broken teeth. Fossilized corpses are frozen mid-run. This city was sealed, not destroyed. In the central plaza lies the ritual pit, a giant circle of obsidian lined with burnt bones, gold inlays, and runes. Elias realizes the pit was a prison, not for the dead, but for the god beneath. He studies the murals, learning the only way to rebind the SANDSTALKER, a blood sacrifice and a spoken incantation in the original tongue of the priests. Layla screams. The creature bursts through the ground. Its true form revealed, a towering serpentine beast with glowing magma eyes, its skin formed of hardened sand and ancient bone. Elias prepares for the final stand. We finish what they started. Elias lights the ritual fires while Layla chants the old words. The SANDSTALKER rampages, its body breaking pillars and flooding the chamber with sand. Elias lures it into the pit. The trap fails. The beast is too strong. With no choice, Elias steps into the pit himself, offering his blood. Layla watches in horror as the pit ignites, sealing the creature in molten gold, but also consuming Elias. His last look is one of peace. Layla barely escapes as the underground city begins to collapse. She surfaces, alone, the desert calm and still once more. In the final shot, a drone view shows the dunes. And then a faint tremor. A puff of dust rises, and a low growl rumbles from beneath. The sand never forgets. The SANDSTALKER never sleeps.